This is a song that I made for my wife because when I met my wife, I was really kind of in a very, like, I don't know, dark space, I guess, or just, I remember I was very burnt out from touring, and I wasn't really feeling the fire of music anymore, and was really confused because if music goes away, then who am I? That's darkness, right? Kind of dark night of the soul. And it was just a very interesting time. And I feel like when you meet somebody who is your person, your partner, your other half, there's a deep amount of healing that happens in your heart. There's a deep amount of struggle because that person becomes your mirror, and it shows you all the dark parts of yourself that you don't like. But that's the medicine. To have somebody that's committed to you, to going on that journey with you, is such a sacred, sacred blessing. And you realize that perhaps your love is not just of, like, this present life. Perhaps it was from many lives before. And that's my heart, your heart. It's rooted, in roots way underground. It's beating in roots way underground. And I talk about the place we met. I talk about how she found me. You found me in the dark. It was winter. We met where the three rivers meet in India. You trusted me, you came there, all these things. So it's my little love song for my wife. And I think it's important to recall your first meetings with your beloved, because it helps you remember your journey from then until now, but it also helps you remember the purity of the relationship, of that first meeting. And I think that's really important. So it's a nice meditation when I sing to really remember how we came together and what we mean to each other. Yeah. I love her. What I know is another song of jubilation. It's another song of celebration, and it's a song about surrendering to the not knowing, surrendering to the dark, And I feel like as a culture, particularly as like a Western culture, we're so obsessed with like knowing things. We're so obsessed with explaining things, with figuring things out, because I feel like in a way, it kind of gives us like a sense of control, and the things that we don't understand, the things that we can't figure out, we shoo away. They kind of scare us, because we can't understand them, right? But there is an incredible thing that happens when we surrender to the dark, One of the things that I had to learn on this fruitful darkness journey is I have no idea what is going on. I have absolutely no idea. And whereas before I used to push against that so much, now I welcome that space. I welcome that space. Because once I surrender to that space, I return to the spirit of my inner child, of, playfulness. That song is about that. I give it all to my love. I give it all to the heart. I throw my hands up. I surrender. I'm a child of the earth. What I know is that I don't know. Now let's dance. Let's sing. It's a fun one. It's a fun song. A reminder is another, really sacred song, I guess, for me. I originally wrote it with my friend Aaron Edwards, and then I brought it to Sean, and we kind of just rearranged it a little bit. It's a song about my first trip to India, really, and remembering that space, and remembering that experience. Because for me, that space is like my inner heart, that's my inner world. That's the thing I love the most. I think about it all the time, But as life goes on, we forget our experiences. We forget where we've been. We forget what we've learned. We forget, all these things. So it's important for us to remember. It's important for us to unpack our memories, and to go back into that space and find our center and find the things that really touch our hearts and really make us feel at our highest self, I guess, And a reminder is about that. And I sing about all the different things that I remember. I remember arriving into Delhi at like 1 a.m, coming outside and being like, oh my God, where am I? And we made our way to this ashram, and I remember being in this room and the cement floors, and there was like cracks in the floors. And I remember the first morning when we drove up into Rishikesh, and I saw the Ganga, I saw the river, there were cows in the street, and I sing about all those things. I sing about those moments to bring me back there and really bathe myself in that place again. It helps ground me, it helps me find my center. But it's not particularly that experience, right? The root of it is love, right? The root of it is the heart. My love is just a reminder, find your center, right? That's the thing. So it can be about any experience that touches the heart, but it's really about that quality of love and how that brings you right back into your real self. And that's what a reminder is about for me. It's a reminder. Karma was one of the first songs I think it was the first song that I wrote about the stars. That I wrote about my first session with Deb, my astrologer. When I first, met Deb, when I first had my first reading, I was really in a tough place. I was having lots of problems with my health. I was canceling a lot of stuff and didn't really know what was going on, and was getting kind of dark in my head, about things. And she kind of came along and really just laid it all out on the table and explained so much about my person and how I function. And I was like, how are you doing this, So that song was really about the placement of my planets, 3 in fire, 5 in water, roaming through the Scorpio, I'm stinging myself with everything I hold, all these things are really just the lessons that I learned from the first session. And it made me think about karma. It made me think about the cycle of things, how everything comes back around, and everything is related, and everything is in a divine, order, I guess. The stars are like a reflection of our own selves, and we're all kind of like constellations in a way. I thought that was really amazing, and the study of astrology really helped me understand that everything is related. Everything, nobody is, I guess, nothing is separate, everything comes back around. Everything is in a cycle, divine cycle. And Karma was really a song of me kind of exploring that, I guess. First session with Deb, and really started taking the first step of my study into the stars, That's really what Karma was.
Got me thinking again of all this virtue and sin that's going round and round.